Welcome back to Trackside Tea, your go-to for all the F1 drama, fashion and flair. I'm Rebecca and today we're unpacking the sizzling action from the 2025 Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Did I just say that right? I think I just said that right. Sorry if I didn't, but I think I did. This was a good race to watch. So much going on and so much to talk about. Drama, celebrities, Fernando Alonso and, Max Verstappen. Awkward. So let's start with the small bit of race recap and McLaren's dominance. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen any of this year's races, if you haven't, where have you been? Oscar Piastri nabbed his 5th win of the season, which gave McLaren a 1-2 finish alongside his teammate Lando Norris. Quite frankly, to me, it looked like Oscar had a pretty flawless drive. He started on pole position and he managed to carry on and win the race. And it was quite a fair margin between him and Lando too. So, good on Oscar. But I am not a strategy person, I would make that clear. But this did seem to showcase McLaren's superior strategy with their tyre management in the crazy heat. While we're on the track of heat, someone who well and truly lost their cool is Max Verstappen. So a spot of Sector 3 Showdown here, which was truly chaotic for Max and a massive game changer. I mean, he's known for his strong personality and willpower, but it seems one thing after another for Max in Spain. Stopping for one of his pit stops around lap 48, which already seemed a lot of pit stops for him. He came back onto the track from the pit lane with his teammate Yuki Tsunoda right in front of him. Now he was a lap behind, so needed to move aside so Max could get past, but didn't seem to move quite as quick as he probably should have done. And Max was then caught up behind him and lost a bit of time. Number 1 strike for Max. The next bit of bad luck was when Lando and Max were caught behind a little battle between Liam Lawson and Ollie Behrman as they were jostling for places in their own little race, costing Max more time. And to shout out on the radio, idiots! It doesn't end there, folks. Poor Kimi Antonelli's trundled into the gravel with a mechanical failure, which caused the ever-anticipated safety car. So a lot of people dropped into the pits with this opportunity, as did Max, and he ended up on hard tyres. Apparently because it's the only ones he had left, and he was the only driver to use them. A little bit on the crazy side. Max even said on the radio, "Why the have we? What is this tyre?" I would have thought it would be better to stay on the ones he hadn't long been on and could have finished the race on. I mean, there was no other mandatory stop. He didn't have to do it. But hey, that's what they decided to do. Do you know, I might do an episode, a pod splainer on tyres? I thought that might be a good idea. Yeah, maybe. I'll think about that one. Anyway, lap 60 of 66, and the safety car ended. Oscar broke hard just before he went off, and we actually all cringed in our house, thinking that Max, Oscar and Lando literally were going to go into each other and take each other out. It literally looked like that at one point. It was quite a scary moment. But Oscar did his thing and off he went, closely followed by Lando. And I hate to say it, but that was also not the last of it for Max. He then suffered a dramatic wobble. They call it a snap, but I like the word wobble, where he lost his back end, which gave Charles Leclerc his chance. He went to sneak past Max, and unfortunately the pair of cars touched slightly, and Max was once again annoyed. Not to be left out, George Russell, who has a bit of a reputation of hanging on behind and being in the right place at the right time to just sneak into a podium place, wanted his chance to take over the Max. They also made a small amount of contact, and Max disappeared off the track to the escape road and gained the advantage. Well, that's what it looked like to start with, and to be fair, Max was then asked to let George pass by his team radio. That did not go down well, as you can imagine. "I was ahead, he ran me off the road," he shouted. Max made it look like he was letting him by. And when George did, Max sped up, and in the words of George, "He just crashed into me." So in a heated moment, Max did something silly and was now under investigation for it. And what's worse is the first incident that he was told to let George pass for was deemed no further action by the stewards. So, silly Max. Now, I get the team thought it best to give the place back to George. Better to do that than overtake again, than being caught by the stewards and then them giving them a penalty or something similar. But I really don't think they imagined Max to react the way he did. He was handed a 10-second penalty for that. And I fully admit we were all shouting at the TV because we could not believe that's all he got. He did it on purpose. He crashed into George on purpose and all he got was a 10-second penalty. Admittedly, that knocked him down to 10th place, which meant that he only got 1 point, but still, it just didn't seem enough. He did it on purpose. Oh, so frustrating. Come back to that in a minute. Now, for fan flags moment, it's shout-out time. During all this drama playing out in the top 5, there were some epic notable performances. Nico Hülkenberg got 5th place, having started in 16th, and he was so happy that he was like, yeah, baby, on the radio. Absolutely brilliant. Isaac Hadjar, who I have to admit I think is doing really well at the moment, and only went to prove it again by getting 7th place, and that's more points for him. Just 1 less spot than his previous race, which was really good. But I have to say, in amongst all the drama that was going on, my absolute epically favourite moment was the fact that Fernando Alonso got points at his home race. He did not have points at all until this race. It was so exciting. I was so excited. I was like really chuffed for him. I was driving the family nuts because I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited about it. So he got his first 2 points. It would have been 1 point, but thanks to Max, it was 2 because obviously Max went down to 10th, which meant Fernando went up to 9th. Okay. Celebrity spotlight. There was no Brundle Trundle this week, but they were still wandering the starting grid. But it did seem the whole of the England football team were there. Now, I'm not up on my football, so I didn't realise this was the England football team, although I did recognise Harry Kane, who they did interview, and apparently it was his first race or first viewing of a race ever. It's got to be epic to be there physically at the event rather than just watching it on TV, so I hope he had a good time. Now, Jude Bellingham, who apparently is now Real Madrid, I want to say. Sorry if that's wrong. It was in the Mercedes garage, and they panned onto him after Kimi Antonelli's crash, and he seemed to be smiling. Not sure what that was about. I mean, if you're in the team's garage, you don't want to be caught smiling at a team downfall. It just seemed a really odd moment. I'm hoping it was out of context, and he was smiling at something else. Maybe somebody had told him a joke, or something similar, and it wasn't at that particular issue that he was smiling at. So, let's just hope. And then one last celebrity, doing post-race interviews with the podium folk, Terry Crews. Who here watches and who has watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Gotta love it. Absolutely gotta love it. And love him. So there you go. That's my celebrity call-outs. So finally, I guess I should do a little bit of a roundup. That currently, Oscar Piastri now leads the Drivers' Championship with 186 points, followed by Lando with 176 points, and Verstappen is now trailing with 137. And that wasn't even the last for Max. More issues. Afterwards, he got points on his licence, which means he now has 11 out of 12, so he's just 1 point away from a race ban. Oh my goodness me, Max. What's going on there? He's going to have to keep his nose clean for the next couple of races, because if he gets even 1 more point, that's it. Race ban. He's got till the end of June, I think it's the 30th, before 2 of them disappear off because it's a rolling 12 months. So good luck, Max. Now, one last thing today. This one has got me up to date. So next week's race is Canada. I've got some questions for you guys. Predict this. 1, who will be pole position in qualifying? 2, which trio will be the podium winners for the race? And 3, will there be a safety car deployed? Will there? Now, I fully admit, my prediction on safety cars, I've said yes every single time, and I think it has happened. I'm sure it's happened every single race so far. But who do you think will be pole position at qualifying, and which trio will be your podium winners? Let me know. I think it'd be Oscar in pole position, and my podium winners, Oscar, Lando, and let's go George this time round. Let's throw George in there. That's all for this episode of Trackside Tea. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review if you like. Join us next time and we delve into the drama of the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix. Until then, keep it sassy and speedy.